Did you see the movie Star Wars? In the movie Star Wars, those things flew around called X-Wing Vipers. So I kind of gave a kick off of this, put the air intakes on the side, and I made the nose with a little wing on it to kind of look like one, hence the name Starjet. I'm supposedly a commander of a fleet of Starjets from outer space, going to save the world. So I cut this and built this to look like a, if you ever get a close-up of an X-Wing Viper, the canopy looks just exactly like that. And you drive with one hand. This car only weighs 1,178 pounds because the motor only weighs 500. And of course, you can tell by the roll cage, this is all 4130 chrome moly, inch and 5/8, 68 thousandths wall on it, so you can go on your head, which we don't want to talk about, but you could go on your head and not be a problem surviving in one of these. Actually has two motors in one. This is the compressor, 8-stage compressor. There's 8 different wheels in there with little vanes on them that go around, and they make so much air, and they blow the air out the back. And this is the afterburner. There's 12 nozzles on this one, 14 nozzles on this one. And when you kick that baby in, the car will run 170 just on the main motor. But with the afterburner blazing, with the main motor making the air, and this putting all the fuel in it, and this is the hot end, what they call the diffuser here, and this is, of course, the pipe. And when it runs, it'll push you 300 miles an hour. These are parachute cans. You got the parachute you use all the time, they call it the main chute. Then there's the secondary, in case you have a problem, which I've never had. And I run this thing for 11 years. But you watch your equipment, and what they say, you take care of your equipment will take care of you. So you drive one hand, one of these things with your hand on the controls. That's the TIG switch that runs the afterburner. When you start this thing, you put a big starter in a hole over there. When you turn it over, this is the igniter, sound like this. And they make a spark, and as the motor is spinning, woo, and at 30%, you wave your starter guy off. The starter is over there with 3 batteries, 36 volts underneath that little cart, and we roll the little cart over. And as you're spinning the motor over, then you start giving it fuel. This is the main fuel, the first motor there, and you're giving it on this red knob, and you push till it gets about 50% on like a tachometer, and then you give it smoke, which is fuel. You light it with this. This is a hot streak that throws a hot streak of fuel into it that lights it, and you do your fireballs, boo, boo, boo. And when you're at the races, maybe you do 5 of those. Then you bring it up higher, and the RPM gauge runs up to about 89%. That's when you start doing burner pops, and you just do real quick. Smoke streak, just pew, 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 pew. And you do maybe 10 of those, and you slowly, you're popping yourself up to the starting line. And then once you stage on the lights, then you put it in governor, and then when you get ready to run, you light the burner, and then you hold on. You don't have to use a streak, you just hold on with one hand, but you got to keep your finger on there. And when you go through the lights, you pull everything back, and then when you pull this back and this back, automatically it shuts the power off, shuts the fuel off, it kicks the first parachute out, all in one sweep. Because at the other end, going 300 miles an hour, things are happening pretty fast. And this is the secondary chute here. So you make a stroke, put your hand up here in case you got to pull that one, and then you can have the other chute. That's about it. When you get in the car, pretty slick. Steering wheel pops off. You lay it up like this so you can get in. You got 5 straps. You got 2 over your shoulders, 2 over your waist, and a crotch strap to keep you from going underneath in case you hit something.